Carlos Alcaraz's bid for a historic third consecutive Wimbledon title began with a scare that few could have predicted. On the hallowed center court, under the watchful eyes of thousands, the Spanish superstar was pushed to the absolute brink by veteran Italian showman Fabio Fognini. The build-up to this match had carried an air of inevitability. Alcaraz, fresh off his Queen's Club triumph and still glowing from his French Open victory, was widely expected to cruise through the first round. The reigning 2023 and 2024 Wimbledon champion was the overwhelming favorite on paper. But matches aren't played on paper. They're fought with sweat, nerve, and heart. And on this day, Fognini brought all three. From the opening games, it was clear that Alcaraz was not in full command. His timing was off. His shot selection, usually so instinctive and accurate, faltered. Defensive errors crept in, forcing him into uncharacteristic mistakes. Fognini, on the other hand, played like a man with nothing to lose. His backhand was fluid, his drop shots deadly, and his court craft as sharp as ever. The Italian moved Alcaraz around the baseline with finesse, drawing gasps from the crowd with his shot placement. As the match wore on, Alcaraz's frustration grew. Missed first serves, mishits on easy forehands, and loose errors in critical moments became a recurring theme. By the end of the second set, Fognini had leveled the match, sending shockwaves through center court. The upset alert was on. The crowd, always eager for drama, roared with every Fognini winner. The underdog narrative was gaining traction. Tennis fans on social media were buzzing. Could this really happen? In the third set, Alcaraz showed glimpses of the champion inside him. He regrouped, tightened his play, and began to dictate points from the baseline with renewed aggression. But Fognini was not going away. The Italian refused to back down, mixing aggression with defense in a way that kept Alcaraz guessing. In the fourth set, Fognini's resilience reached its peak. Every time Alcaraz looked like pulling away, the Italian clawed his way back. Long rallies, breathtaking winners, and defensive masterclasses defined the set. Alcaraz's team, including his coach Juan Carlos Ferrero, looked tense in the players' box. They knew their man was in serious trouble. By the time the fifth set arrived, the match had turned into a classic. The sun dipped lower over SW19, the shadows lengthened, and the tension became almost unbearable. Alcaraz, with the pressure of history and expectation weighing on him, dug deep. He began to find his range again, moving with greater urgency and hitting with more conviction. Still, Fognini wasn't done. He saved break points with audacious winners, held serve under immense pressure, and even earned break chances of his own. The center court crowd gave both players a standing ovation during a changeover late in the fifth set. The match had become more than a contest. It was a battle of will, pride, and endurance. Alcaraz eventually managed to edge ahead, breaking Fognini's serve at a crucial juncture. His celebration was muted, aware that the job wasn't finished yet. Serving for the match, Alcaraz kept his nerve. An ace down the tee, a forehand winner, a perfectly timed volley, suddenly, match point. On the final point, Fognini sent a forehand long, and Alcaraz dropped to his knees in exhaustion and relief. The defending champion had survived. Fognini, ever the showman, raised his racket to the crowd, acknowledging the applause that rained down on him from every corner of the stadium. As the two players met at the net, there was a long handshake and a few words exchanged, both smiling, both knowing they had delivered a Wimbledon spectacle for the ages. Alcaraz walked off the court with his head high but fully aware that improvements were needed for the rounds ahead. In post-match interviews, Alcaraz admitted his performance was below par. "It wasn't my best tennis," he said. "But sometimes, you have to fight and survive. That's what I did today." Fognini, too, reflected on the match with pride. "I enjoyed every moment," he told reporters. "At my age, playing like this against the world number one on center court, it's special." Tennis pundits across the globe began dissecting the match. The big question on everyone's mind: was this a wake-up call for Alcaraz? Social media exploded with praise for both players. Fans hailed the match as an instant Wimbledon classic. Analysts pointed out how Alcaraz's movement and defensive play looked shaky, something future opponents might look to exploit. Others were quick to praise Fognini for producing such a high level of tennis at this stage of his career. The All England Club's official channels released highlight reels that quickly went viral. Wimbledon first rounds rarely deliver matches of such intensity and narrative weight. But this one had it all: history on the line, an underdog rising, and a champion pushed to the brink. Alcaraz, now through to the second round, knows tougher tests lie ahead. But if this match taught him anything, it's that every opponent is dangerous when the stakes are high. Fognini leaves Wimbledon with his head held high, his legacy further enhanced. As night fell over London, the buzz from centre court remained. Journalists scrambled to file stories, fans stayed late discussing every twist and turn, and Alcaraz likely began preparing mentally for what promises to be an even tougher road to his third title. This wasn't the start he had imagined, but perhaps it was the test he needed.